From Dunnet we continued our journey, starting on the west coast, which we were promised was the most spectacular of the North Coast 500, if not the most demanding road. We had booked a campsite at Betty Hill for the night, which is about 40 miles, and we planned to take our time enjoying the rugged coastal scenery, crofting communities and the wild open landscapes. Thurso was the first stop, being the largest town in the far north. A good place to stock up with supplies and fill up with diesel, just because looking at the next stretch we might have some problems stocking up. Some of the places we were to travel were very remote, but really we were worrying about nothing. There was quite a few small villages and small shops, and we tried to use these as much as possible, helping the local communities, which I'm sure relied a lot on the tourist trade. We stayed for one night at Cragdew campsite at Betty Hill. Betty Hill itself is a small highland village, has two fantastic beaches, Far Bay and Torresdale Beach, well worth a visit. The village boasts a post office, fuel station and general store selling hot snacks and ice cream. The campsite has had a recent refurbishment and has a new amenity block still under development. But the site has all the necessaries with electric available. It also has a coin operated laundry, which we found invaluable. Having been on the road for a while, it was nice to get some washing done. The ground is a bit uneven, but the whole campsite is spotlessly clean and would thoroughly recommend it. Carl of Tongue is a shallow sea loch in the western part of Sutherland, featuring a rocky coastline. Its mouth is formed at Tongue Bay and stretches inland for about 5 miles. To the south of the Carl, it's backed by dramatic mountains, namely Ben Loyal and Ben Hope, which is the most northerly Monroe in Scotland. The Carl of Tongue Causeway opened in 1971, allowing drivers on the A38 to cross directly instead of looping miles around the head of the loch. The Carl is one of the highlights of the NC 500. The views are often described as some of the best in northern Scotland, with a mix of mountain, sea and tidal sands make one of the most dramatic highland landscapes. Loch Eriboll is a long, deep sea loch, about 10 miles long and reaching 130 metres deep. The bay is steeped in history and dramatic scenery. The sheltered waters are a safe haven going back to the Vikings for Norse raiders and traders. Loch Eriboll was used as an anchorage by the Royal Navy in both the First and Second Wars. In 1945, over 30 German U-boats surrendered here before being sent for disposal. The loch's nutrient-rich waters attract fish, making a feeding ground for marine life, with occasional whale and dolphins spotted offshore. This beautiful peninsula is called Aurtniqui and was once used as the terminus of the Helium Ferry, which used to cross the loch to the now gone Helium Inn on the west bank of the Loch of Porthoncorn. The ferry ceased operating in the 1890s when the road around the loch was completed, but the ferry house built in 1831 still stands, though sadly derelict. Aurtniqui is also notable for its large lime kilns built in 1870. The Ray estate produced large amounts of lime here on the nearby island of Island Corey, where it was loaded into ships. Smooth Caves is one of the most fascinating natural attractions on the north coast of Scotland, just outside the village of Durness. It is a mix of sea cave and freshwater cave, which makes it quite unusual. It sits on the end of a dramatic limestone gorge carved by the lit Smooth Burn. The main entrance chamber is enormous, around 40 metres wide and 60 metres deep, making it the largest sea cave entrance in Britain. A waterfall drops 20 metres through a sinkhole, creating a dramatic underground waterfall. There is a wooden walkway leading to the main chamber, which is free to access year-round. From Smooth Caves we headed south to our next overnight stop, which was Kinlochbovie. It was a 17-mile stretch of scenic countryside, mainly consisting of single-track roads with passing places, with some wider stretches closer to villages. Kinlochbovee is one of the most remote villages in mainland Scotland. It's a small place with a big personality, shaped by sea, the land and its fishing heritage. It's a deep water harbour built in the 20th century to support the fishing industry. The harbour is still active today with a modern fish market, though the scale has reduced since its peak. Life is community orientated, with Gaelic heritage still strong in the local area. The main village has a shop, post office, fuel station and a few guest houses. It's a service hub for the scattered crofting communities around. We spent a fantastic night parked on the jetty. It was quiet, a beautiful location and cost us £10 a night, £15 with electric, and it also included fresh water, grey and black waste disposal. It is a community run and overnight tickets are available from the village shop. A fantastic location, one of our best overnight stays on the North Coast 500. The road south from here takes you through some of the most wildest and most spectacular landscapes. We cannot believe how beautiful it is. The scenery just seems to be getting better and better. The Carlscrew Bridge is one of the most striking modern landscapes in the northwest Highlands of Scotland. Not just a piece of road engineering, it has become an icon of the southwestern landscape. It was opened by the Queen in 1984, which had replaced the old ferry service access, the Carl of Durness, which had operated for centuries. The bridge is 276 metres long and spans Loch Charn, a narrow sea loch. The curves of the bridge means you never see the full structure from the road while driving, but from the viewpoints it's spectacular. This was one of my main highlights on this trip. I was looking forward, having seen a lot of drone footage on YouTube of the Carlscrew Bridge. It was on my bucket list of places where I could get the drone up. I've heard a lot of people, when they got there, the weather was awful and restricted flying, so fingers crossed. The weather this morning wasn't good, overcast and no cloud. Luckily my prayers were answered and I was able to get this fantastic footage. Standing there. The roads from now on are made up of long stretches of single track roads with passing places, but the views make every mile worthwhile. You have to expect sweeping bends, blind summits and occasional oncoming traffic. Driving slowly and carefully is advisable. There are countless beaches, viewpoints and historical spots to explore. This is a trip not to be rushed. We took nearly 3 weeks to complete this trip and only touched the surface.
Tell me, babe, where are you going? Prairie wind goes on blowing. Tumbleweed shadow, I'm tied to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the back. Spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. In the light, I had a vision. In the dark, a premonition. You took my dreams and now I'm bound to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in a bad spell. Spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. 'Cause you got me in a bad spell. Spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. Pick me up, put me down. Why you keeping me around? You're my illusion that I'm running to. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in a bad spell. Spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic.
Ardmere Point campsite, just 3 miles north of Ullapool, was our next stop for a couple of nights. Nestled on a peninsula with views of Loch Kennard and the Ben More Kuyak mountain range. This was a good opportunity to get some washing done and a bit of a rest from driving for a couple of days. The pitches were pretty much all next to a pebble beach with the fantastic views. The campsite boasts a well-stocked shop, laundry, toilets, showers and coffee shop.